Okay, I'm at Charleston Blueprint. I'm picking up the graphics for my Buggy. If you're ever in the Charleston area, or you're not, if you're in the area or live here, Charleston Blueprint can do graphics. They can do just regular copy making. They do picture framing, just about anything. They can handle anything. So let's go in and check out the graphics. Happens. Do a promo video for Charleston Blueprint. Get everything you need done here. Sean, you can watch yourself on TV now.
More self-conscious than I already am.
Yeah. I'm excited. This is awesome. I don't know if I want to let anyone see these before they go in the car until the very end. That's really freaking sweet. I like it. I like it a lot. I forgot about everything. Okay, one thing I didn't mention when I picked up the stickers, you can kind of see if the light hits it right. All of these stickers are reflective. So at night they'll light up. I just got it laying on there for now. Oh, that's a stripe, but like I said, at night these will really light up, and that's thanks to Ben at Charleston Blueprint. It was his suggestion to do that on this reflective material, and I actually love it, so that was a great idea. He didn't want to be on camera, so I didn't put him on camera, but I'll give him credit for having these printed on the reflective material, so I'm really happy with it. So, all right, we'll move on to another little thing before I get started on some major stuff. Okay, so on Tuesday, I went to get this legal. I have insurance now, so I went to get a license plate. This was the mock-up. This is a 1975. This is titled as a 1975 assembled dune buggy. Some of our state laws have changed in the recent years. In the last 3 years, 3 years when this law changed. But you used to be able to run a normal plate on the back of it, and they would allow you to run antique tags on what would be considered antique, which this would have been if it was a 1975, which it is. But I had a 1975 license plate. And like I say, on hot rods and other things, you can do this on anything except for what I have apparently. So I have a 1975 license plate, and this plate was good. They checked it. The number was good. It all checked out, so I was going to be able to use it. But now assembled dune buggies now are considered a specialty vehicle. They've got them looped into things like ATVs, side-by-sides, and motorcycles, which are all legal in West Virginia to ride on the street. But what that meant was when they gave me a new plate, I got a plate the size, a motorcycle size plate. So now I'm having to make a little plate for my plate. So I was kind of bummed I couldn't run that plate, and then I was even more bummed that I got a little tiny plate. So anyway, I have some leftover vinyl, one of the stripes they printed out for me. I'm going to make this whole thing reflective. I don't want to make it too complicated. I don't want the police to think, I'm trying to hide anything or do anything weird, but I want to decorate it a little bit so it just doesn't look like a small plate stuck in the middle of it. And since the material I have is reflective, it'll work as a kind of a reflective thing anyway. So anyway, I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll get started on some more important things. Okay, I had an extra stripe like this. This was from the top, so I had an extra one. So this is what I ended up doing on the license plate. End up covering it with that so it's reflective. Now, let's see what the license plate looked like on it. Alright, that'll work. Not perfect, but good enough that it's going to be a red reflective stripe on the back too, and I just tried to make the blue kind of match that on that, but anyway, that's what it's going to have to be, so it's not too bad. But thank Charleston Blueprint for mounting these for me, because this stuff, if you look closer, there's like bubbles in it. It's really hard to apply, so they have a roller machine that rolls it through. So anyway, but for what it is, it'll be good. So I can live with it. So we'll get that mounted up, and then I'll probably do a couple other stickers, only because I'm excited. I don't need to do the stickers now, but I don't know, it's such hard work. Sometimes it feels good just to accomplish something. So I'm going to probably apply a few more stickers, and then we'll get either on the clutch line or installing the engine. Okay, I decided I was going to work on my brakes, my clutch line, since I have all the tools out already. I got a Willwood reservoir here. So ordered the line. I had to order a line on it, and I wanted a braided line, but again, I had a hard time finding one that was short enough that was 3/8 24 there, and then had the kind of mount that you stick through. You put a clip on. So there's a place I found online. I'll put the name on the description. I can't think of it right now, but they make braided lines any size you want, any color you want. But it was going to be $60 for a line, so I didn't want to spend it. I got this one for $11 off of Amazon. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other ones. I'm going to shrink wrap it, put a little X protection on it, keep it hidden. But this will work for now. I can always change it later if I want to spend the $50. There's also a place, which I also put in the description here, on eBay. The guy sells brake lines, and he also makes them in different colors. But I've heard good things about him. I've never used them. I didn't even price them on there. But anyway, we'll get this installed and work on the clutch line. Okay, I think that'll work. One thing I think the shrink wrap does too, it helps hold it in shape when you bend it. If you put it on while it's still warm, when I took the other lines off, they stayed in the shape that they were in, so I think that'll help. I bent the tab up a little bit just to give me clearance for it to go through, so should have plenty of room there now to move. So now let's work on the hard line. Okay, I had to cut a new bolt for my clutch here. The bolt I cut down, I have to add a spacer or a washer right there on that side. And then the lock threads, the nylon lock threads, weren't engaging on the threads, so I cut a longer one. This one has a bigger shoulder on it, so it's actually going to be much better. So anyway, I just pay attention to things like that. And like I said, I locked it down and I noticed that it wasn't even in the threads, so I'll make sure I get it right. Okay, I got the clutch line the hard line ran all the way back to that. So that goes all the way forward. Bubbles up, ends up there. So now the only thing I have to do to the brake system is tighten everything up. I'll bench bleed these here, then I'll hook everything up, and then I'll start bleeding the system. Then at that point, hopefully I have brakes in the clutch. Okay, I got my pivot bolt safety wire in. It's stainless steel wire, and goes through the hole in the bolt and wraps around this way, so it's wraps around this way because the bolt would want to loosen this way, so that keeps tension on it so it can't back out. They make a tool to spin these and make them a little neater, but you can do it by hand just as good instead of spending $30 on a tool for it. So got both of those done, so that's done now. That'll hopefully keep my pivot bolt in place so I won't have to worry about that. Okay, to get my air cleaner on, I need a riser because the air filter hits some of the things around here. So I found this at Lowe's. I don't know exactly what it is. It's for pipe, but it's 2 inches on the inside. Then it reduces down, there's 2 inches on the outside. So I've had it on there. Let it go on. I'm going to trim it down a little bit and put a metal ring on the inside. And that's my air filter over there. And I should be able to clamp it right on there. So we'll see. I'm going to trim this top ring off of it there, where the hose clamp was on it, because that'll make it right at 2 inches. And then I'm putting the solid piece. I'm going to cut this down, drop it inside of it, and I'll let the hose clamp on that tighten down on it and hold it in place. Should work, so let's see what happens. Okay, that worked out. Got on there. Nice and tight. Sealed good. Probably had a better seal than what it would have been. Anyway, so it's a little bit of a high rise, but that's okay. So I can mark that off the list now. Okay, I had to split my brake line. It was already installed. I installed it in one piece, but I had to put a brake switch into it. So I just split it, cut a little piece out of it, and I'll have that worked into it now. So I'm gonna put it back in the car, and hopefully I cut enough and got the measurement right. We'll see. Okay, I finished up my license plate. I trimmed this down a little bit to kind of look like the old Volkswagen Beetle on the deck lid shape, and I put some reflective tape on it. Just I liked it better with the blue. And that's what it came out like. So that's fine. So the plates are good. I'm all legal now. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to drop the motor in. It's basically ready to go. But I want to tighten up all of my connections for my brake lines. Anything that's easier to do before the motor's here, I'm going to try to get in here and make sure everything's buttoned up. So once I drop the motor in, I won't have as much access. It won't be as easy to access. I'll just say that. So anyway, I want to get through here and tighten up things, and then we'll work on getting the motor dropped in. Well, I didn't get any of it on camera, but Ed stopped by and we managed to get the motor in. So wasn't too bad. I got hung up on those bolts in the back, if you can see. I had to drill those out a little bit more, the ones in the very back. I accidentally drilled the wrong hole, but I had to drill those out a little bit. But other than that, it took us 2 tries to get it in. But it's in. I need to get some shorter, or bolts with more threads on them, so I've got to get some bolts. But it's in place, so we're good. I realized in the last video I showed the tool, but I didn't show what brand. And again, I give this 5 stars out of 5 stars, or 10 out of 10. This thing has been super awesome, so I would definitely buy these over and over again. This was the brand that I got. Other people make them, but some of them look the same. They have different names, but they look like the exact same machine. So anyway, that's one of them. That's the one I got. And I think this was about $180 if I remember right. But worth every penny of that. So it's one of the best tools that I've had. Okay, back on my sending unit, I have the Minute Maid cap that I showed you I made for the top. I got a piece of Velcro here. Here's what I end up putting on the cap. Since I have the Sunco Racing sticker there, kind of the same thing there. I just put information about the gas tank, the brand, the size, the gallons, and the outlet, and then the fuel sending unit. The reason I did that way if I have problems with this and I need to know things about it, it'll be right there on the gas tank. So anyway, that's why I did that. So that's what that's going to be. Okay, there it is installed. Looks like a factory piece. You'll never know that it wasn't supposed to be there. Like I say, the cord comes out of the front of it. I just split the front of it, put a little slot in it when it comes out, so it looks good from the back side, but doesn't take much. It's lightweight, so the Velcro should hold it on. Then for the motor, I had this sticker printed. This oil capacity, spark plugs, transaxle oil, things like that, and the firing order. I'm going to put that on the side of the fan shroud. This is a reminder. Again, it'll kind of make it look factory. I'm trying to make this thing look less home built and kind of like it was a factory built. That's why I'm doing things like this. Kind of want it to look like a factory built race car, even though it's not really going to be a race car. But anyway, that's what I'm going for. There's some of the sponsors. These are places where I bought things from. So I bought some other places too, but that's why I put those. On this side, it's manufacturers. On the other side, I put local businesses on here. Charleston Blueprint, they're the ones who did these graphics. Charleston Ballet, that's the set pieces that I build. That's what give me the money to build these things. Pardon Sign, she's a good friend of mine. She gave me the aluminum for this and countless other things. Light Opera Guild, I build set pieces for those. So between these two companies, that's basically who paid for this entire project. So that's why I have those on there. And Lowe's, they should give me money, but I bought so many bolts and stuff there, they owe me money. And M&M Mart is a local shop where you get the awesome sandwiches. They're like deli style sandwiches, best in town. So the owner is a good friend of mine there, so made sure I put his logo on here too. So anyway, let's get this sticker on the motor. All right, we got that sticker in place. I thought it was also handy to have things on here so you can remember, what oil to get and how much it holds and everything. So it's also functional. So anyway, got that on there. I think I'm gonna make another one by the dipstick here, which says change oil frequently every so many miles, or check level or something. I'm gonna do something on the front there too. So anyway, that's just a little side project to keep me busy till I get enough energy to move forward and work on bleeding the brakes. Okay, I'm starting to work on the lights on the sun visor. These leads aren't quite long enough. I want to go down right behind the light with the wire, and these plugs are huge. So what I'm doing to get more wire in to make it easier so I can go through there so it'll be a little bit cleaner look, is I'm cutting the cords and I'm putting ends like this so I can get that down a hole right behind the light, and then I'll have the connection there, and I'll shrink wrap it after I make a connection. but I've just basically made the plug a lot longer. So I just soldered the connection there, and then it'll plug in there. And that way, if I ever have to change the lights, I can put these ends back on them, and the wires will already be there, and I can just plug them in. So, kind of a bummer to have to cut them up, but that's what I have to do. Okay, I got the lights done. I got the outer lights. I got those, both of those extended, and the fog lights I just had to cut. One thing I did just to make them easier to see, once these ends were in the wiring loop, you won't be able to tell them apart. So for the clear lights, I put blue shrink wrap, and then I put yellow on the fog lights. I might put a passenger driver's side on it too, like a P or a D also, but that way I can quickly just glance at them and tell which light they go to. And I did the same thing on the end where they come through, and I decided that would be a good idea just to help for a reference, keep them separated. So that's ready to go. So now I'll finish the sun visor. I think I'm gonna Scotch-Brite it down, and then I need to get a couple more grommets for the other side. But I'll get that finished up, and that'll finish up the lights. That's the last of the lights I need a mount on the Buggy. Everything else is kind of mounted and in place, ready to start wiring. So that's the last of it. So I'll get that done, and we'll be good to go. Okay, I Scotch-Brited down the sun visor. I just went in one direction to kind of match the gas tank and the steering wheel. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Wires go through there. And on the front, got to get some grommets for the other side. So those are just hanging there. I'll get grommets and run those through. So anyway, those are in, and then the wires come down. I've got the other wires laid in inside the channel there, so I can hook everything up. So now I can mark this off the list. Okay, I got my rubber grommets in today, so I was able to finish the lights on the sun visor there. So all the lights are on the bar. They're not hooked up yet, but that's ready. Also put a sticker on my battery box. That's a sticker I designed and put on the box. So I'm going to stop this video here because I'm just out of momentum. I have my cousin in from Florida for the last few days, so I haven't had time to work on it much. So I'm going to go ahead and stop it here, and then when I start the next video, I'll be bleeding the brakes. Will be where the next video will pick up. One thing I've never talked about, on my wall I have quotes from different car movies. And for my friend in Australia, this one's for you. All right, everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.